again. See, I'm always getting tripped out because it shows like how loud we're being.
Yeah.
It's like super small, so I'm always afraid I'm gonna be really quiet.
No, we're fine. And I can just edit the audio again in the program.
Okay.
That's what I generally do.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, yeah, welcome back, guys. We just wrapped up another Pocket Podcast not too long ago.
mm-hmm.
By not too long ago, I mean like 15 minutes ago. And I'm gonna preface this with the same thing. It's pretty early. It's not as early now. It's almost 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But we're both a little out of it. No caffeine, at least for me.
Yeah, I need to down something. So when we go out later, let's stop by Starbucks.
Yeah.
So I can use my
Get a
Starbucks gift
fat
card.
Starbucks
Yeah.
espresso.
Get that almond milk, boy.
I want a frappuccino.
Double espresso shot. No whip.
But anyways, on the last podcast we talked about industries and kind of the false images they promote that are kind of not obtainable all the time.
Negative consequences of those industries.
Yeah, yeah. And in today's Pocket Podcast, we're going to be talking about what are we agreed on?
Your work stories, your drama that we thought was stupid.
Okay, we talked about like 5 different topics, and my mind was trying to figure out which out of those 5 we just talked about.
We had quite a few.
But yeah, today we're just going to talk about, we're going to keep it pretty casual. We've done a couple podcasts based around specific topics, and we've gotten pretty serious for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I think we should, we're going to
lighten the flow
lighten it up a little bit. Still want you guys to take something away from here, and we're still going to, give some advice throughout our experiences.
I really hope they don't think we're like jerks with the stories we're about to talk about. I've got some lined up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what stories he got, but I guess we'll find out.
You go ahead and start and set the bar, set the tone.
Okay. Well, let me think, because I haven't worked at too many places. I know you've worked at more places than I have.
Yeah, I have. And that's only because if I don't like working somewhere, I'm gonna leave.
You out that piece.
Yeah, forget that.
But I worked at. Well, I guess I'll start with my first job. We can start with
about that willingly suffering life.
We can talk about our first jobs. We'll start with Uncle Julio's because that was my first job, and I know that's where I'm enjoying.
That was my second one. Yeah.
Yeah. But my first job was at a Mexican restaurant called Uncle Julio's. They have some decent food. It's not terrible.
It's not bad.
I've gotten sick a couple times there, but that's nothing on them.
We got that food poisoning.
Yeah, and Joey
part of the charm.
Joey almost died, but we'll get into that.
Die.
We'll get into that. So let me think about some stories I have. Well, first off, this place is crazy. And to anybody that works in the food industry or has worked in the food industry, is particularly like bigger chain restaurants. You know the pain and the struggle. I started off as a busser. I was 16 going on 17, so I was pretty young. And I think I actually started on my birthday, which was terrible.
Yeah, that must have really been.
I thought it was lit at first.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is
new job.
This is nice.
Chilling. Everything's great.
But it was the reason I'm not a huge fan of like a lot of food and industry jobs is you have to wear like the really nice like clothes.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to do the activities of like an athlete. So it's like it just doesn't fit. But anyways, I started there, and it was honestly it was fun for a while. I think starting any job, the first couple of months are always fun, and then you start to realize if you really enjoy it or not.
Right. It's like the honeymoon phase of a job.
Yeah. It's like you can roll with the punches at first because you're just like whatever. But
chilling.
Yeah, but I started off, I was a busser, and then I moved into dishwashing too, and it's kind of funny because I got so much out of this job. Like my girlfriend now of like over a year, we met there, and she I don't know why she liked me. I was a tortilla boy. So I made the tortillas. We had there's this huge machine, and it like spirals it smashes the dough, and then it like drops them down, and they go around and bake a little bit. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was a tortilla boy when you left.
Yeah, bro, we used to smuggle those.
Yeah, I would eat the shit out. I made crepes out of them.
Oh, dude, those
So
were fire.
good.
Jerry was on point with those.
Yeah.
But we would that that position was crazy. And I actually learned to make chocolate piñatas. So if I have the utensils, I could still make one. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for a lot of things that place taught me. But anyways, yeah, my girlfriend started liking me, and I was a dishwasher, a musty ass little dishwasher.
Do you remember Jackie? She was
Jackie.
the to-go person.
Yes.
She was great. I had a big thing for her. And
Oh.
I almost felt like it was reciprocated, but she was like with somebody or whatever, and that kind of dissipated.
Yeah.
But
She's listening right now. She's like, yo, what the fuck?
Oops, the fuck.
Who that be?
Yeah, no, but yeah, no.
I realized we blew past this again, but it's me, Cameron, and Joey again. So I'm pretty sure they would have got that this time. But anyways, yeah, there were a lot of interesting people there, and I mean we both know Shane. He's probably listening to this. Hi, Shane. And
I'm very grateful for that, for meeting Shane.
I'm grateful for meeting a lot of people through there.
Yeah.
I mean,
the job sucked. The people were great.
yeah, that's kind of how I would describe it exactly. I worked there for like almost a year, and you worked there for like almost 3 months.
Yeah.
So, but it was a pretty brutal job. Like the latest I stayed there was the day before Mother's Day, and I remember this, and I don't remember this kid's name. I think his name was like Luke. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah,
oh
Luke.
my God, Luke.
Luke was a cool dude.
He was cool, but I mean, Luke, I don't know why the hell you'd be listening to this, but you pissed me off when you started. Because it was like his second day, right? And he had all rights to get pissed off, but we were like, it was the day before Mother's Day. I had like no food in my system. I was just dying, like going off of fumes. And we were like doing our closing duties or whatever, and it's already late as hell because, you know, day before Mother's Day, it's always packed. And Mother's Day is packed too.
Right.
By the way, if you guys ever go out to restaurants on Mother's Day or any day that's like special,
You're the worst kinds of people.
not the worst kind, but please be patient. Those people that get pissed off because their food is cold or it came off wrong or they haven't gotten a seat in a whole 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Calm down, you know. I don't know why. You know what? This is kind of a side note, but so many people get like so easily flustered with food service.
That was the worst.
And
I remember. Then one of our managers almost get into a fight with a guy because he was just being a total, a-hole.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I would have paid to see that. That would have been so funny.
That's why I couldn't be a manager at a restaurant. Like, it's crazy, and like. The amount of comp food you have to give for free, even though you know the people are bull crapping just to
I saw somebody
free
get
food.
their meal comp because their beans didn't come out right away. I'm like, it's as easy as going back there, scooping up the beans, slapping it in the bowl, and taking it back out. It takes 30
and
seconds.
Slap it in their face.
And this guy got his whole meal comp for that. I'm like, who do you think
well,
you are,
okay,
dude?
they had a limit per day that they could spend or a target goal. So like sometimes they just like comped it to be nice, but. Yeah, there was a time, and this kind of goes with the whole story thing, but I made there was this thing called tableside guacamole. You remember those?
Yeah, I do.
And
I got hella tips from those.
Yeah, so did I. I really wish we had a tip jar because some people didn't know they could tip, and like I was like, come on, bro.
Did we set up one? No, it was me and the other buzzers.
Really?
This was when you moved up to barback, and then you were also dishwasher. That was your two main things. Very, very rarely did you ever work busser.
Yeah, I was a multi-tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we had a jar. We wrote tip jar on tape and slapped it on there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and we got some. I think we got caught by one of the managers, and they were just like, "No, you're not supposed to do that."
Okay.
It's like
Here, friendly little tidbit. There's probably like nobody that works as a busser. But if you ever work as a busser for a position that can get you tips, for our shirts, and dude, this was smart as shit. I was getting crafty with this. I realized there's Chris again, whatever. We had these like button shirts, and they had little pockets on the side, right? Get $1, fold it, and put it in the pocket, like so it's barely sticking out, bro. Little hints, people pick up. Like I'd hear people like, "Oh, you're supposed to tip them," and like whisper and stuff. Like not everybody, but you got more.
I would see people pull out fivers, like 10 seconds into my whole routine, and then be like. It's in
Yeah,
the fucking
and then
bag.
you'd be real nice.
Yeah, then you'd be real nice.
I'd give some people like extra avocados, and like
I would give people extra lemon.
lemon.
Yeah.
You can give extra like. I mean,
Maybe not extra lemon, just like a little bit more of what they want.
bro, I was nice with it. I'll be honest. Like I knew what I was doing when it came to those. Like I remember I had to give people the rundown on how to make them, because people were screwing them up. Mostly because people didn't try.
There was this one time that I was helping this couple, and the bowl had just been washed, so I'm picking it up, right? It slips out of my hand and it's about to fall face down, and I'm like, and like this is when you and I worked out a lot together, and I'm just like squat, and it went down, caught it. Oh, that was loud. It went down, caught it,
Bro,
and then I brought it back up, and they didn't even notice.
Earphone warning.
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
that
sorry
before
about
you
that.
like smack up the camera.
I clap at minute 10.
Is it?
It's almost minute 11. I clap at like minute. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But no,
Whatever. But yeah, so that job was interesting, and I have a lot of stories. But anyways, back to before I got sidetracked. We were working, and it was like, dude, I literally stayed till 3 a.m.
Ugh, yeah, I would see your Snapchat stories about it, and you're like, just leaving work. I'm like, I've been asleep for 4
I don't
hours.
remember doing that. I was probably so sleep deprived. I just posted that stuff. Because at first I thought it was cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting these hours, and it's cool until you have school the next day, and it's every day. Like I would go to school so sleep deprived, and I was like, yeah, this ain't cool anymore. And there were days like I would close and I wouldn't get out till after midnight, and then I'd open and have to be there.
I gotta hand it to Julio's though. I always had money when I worked there.
Yeah, I think we talked about
but that was just because I didn't have responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to pay my car or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was like, the worst payment was a $10 Xbox payment and a gym membership.
Yeah, it was pretty well paying. I mean, that's kind of what it is for a lot of restaurant jobs. It's just like, if you have,
They try to compensate for how crappy of a work condition it is.
yeah, but if you're able to like take the beating, go for it. It's just for me, like especially with my lifting and all that stuff. This isn't an excuse. It's just something I decided to prioritize.
Right.
Just with my lifting and stuff, it was just like I couldn't constantly take the physical beating.
Right.
And I was like losing weight, and like no matter how much I ate, and just because it was actually like a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I worked 15-hour shifts, and honestly I could expose the restaurant, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
For some acts of illegal, but anyways,
Illegal-
not super legal, just
illegal
like
discourse.
just like overworking and
Yeah.
minors and
Yeah.
stuff. But that job was just, it was crazy. But you know what?
You didn't even get free meals when you worked.
No,
Unless
I
it
got
was
a
like-
couple if I took a double, and it wasn't even worth it because a double to them was like
Callie
12,
would
15
would
hours.
give me any kind of meat I wanted, like steak and stuff like that. You know how we didn't really get that.
Yeah.
Like Callie would do that if she asked me to stay for a double. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, I'll give you, like, she wrote it down on paper. She's like, give him a free meal with steak too. And I'm just like,
Lit.
yeah.
Yeah, there was one time, dude, I'm kind of jumping around to bits and pieces. I
Yeah.
need to finish the freaking 3 a.m. start.
Yeah.
So, I was there till 3 a.m. and it was like 2 a.m.
Right.
at this point. It was like late 2 a.m.
Right.
And they were like, hey, can one of you sweep this up? I'll never forget some of the smells from there. Oh my god, the
It was
drains.
horrible.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Horrible.
But there was it was like close to 3 a.m. and I was taking the last trash can out, and it was one of the little black small ones. You remember those? Those shits used to get heavy. And I was dumping it,
Mhm.
and I went to go dump it, and the guy was leaving, and I was like, hey, can you come help me dump this, and then you can go, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, just let me go put my stuff in my car. It was Luke, and so he went to go do that, and he was over there for like 10 minutes, and I'm on top of the dumpster,
You're
one
like looking at
one
him?
hand waiting for him, and I'm looking at him, and he just takes forever, and I finally did it myself, and I'm like, thanks a lot, and I yelled it at him and said a few choice of words, and
Yeah.
he came back the next day, and he was like, he like apologized and whatever. But I think he was kind of mad at me at first because I yelled that stuff at him. But I was pissed. It was 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't have any food in me, and I was just ready to go home. You
Yeah.
know. So that was a night. And another thing during that night, like, they weren't taking the trash out because those dumpsters when they'd fill up.
They filled up.
And the recycle bin. If the recycle bin filled up, you had to break them all down and then get on top and stomp them.
I've had to do that.
That was fun. That was fun. I'm not even gonna front.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. I could have broken my ankle 10 times over.
Like, just play around and work.
There was a Yelp review, and someone went on there and was like, rated it. It was like, I had a good experience until I went around the back and saw the kid that made my guacamole jumping in the recycle bin.
1 star.
Oh jeez, now I got the hiccups. This is gonna be interesting.
Why would that guy even complain about that? Like, that's recyclables 1, so it's not nearly as disgusting as the trash is. I had to get in that freaking dumpster with all those disgusting bags and grab the bags that they're hauling over and throw them in.
Ugh. I'm not surprised you found, or I am surprised you didn't find out you had that allergy.
It must have been just a super recent development.
Yeah.
Like, it had to have happened, like, overnight. Because,
you worked around it so much.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was an interesting job, but we were taking this, the trash cans were getting full. So instead of throwing them away, they were so busy, they just tie them up and they threw them out back. Sometimes didn't even tie them. You remember in that back area?
Yeah.
They just throw them out there and left them. And it was like raining that day too. Yeah. And I was like, bruh. So I picked up a bag, right? And I like put it on, I went to go put it on this cart to roll it and then throw it into the dumpster because it was heavy.
Right.
The bag ripped.
Ooh.
Well, I'm glad you weren't there because it was full of shrimp. And like all this stuff. And like, but mostly shrimp. And I don't know where it came from, but I think it was something they used in making the meals or whatever. And it went everywhere. And I had to like sweep it.
Ugh.
And it's like 2 a.m. and I'm already pissed off. I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to leave. Like, I've already been there 10 hours. Like, and that's another thing about that place. And it's probably like this with a lot of food industry places, but there was no breaks, man. Like, I got so accustomed to like 8 hours, no break. And if it was a break, it was at 15. And you just got to go like eat something real fast.
Right.
No, was it a 10 or 15? No, it was 15. Wait, do we even get 15?
I didn't even take
Maybe
those.
I'm thinking about I'm thinking about my second job.
Yeah.
That's where I got 15s.
Yeah, I didn't even get 10 or 15s or anything.
I think it was just a lunch.
I would have to sneak my ass away and hang out somewhere real quick. Like, I would go in the walk-in.
Dude, that walk-in felt so nice if you were hot.
I would go in the back room, like with all where the trash cans shit and wet, and then like I would just hang out at the drink place, grab some like apple juice or some shit because we served that. That's the fucking best. Or like just pump some coffee or put some coffee in me.
Dude, okay, that's where my caffeine addiction started.
Yeah.
That is the birthplace.
Yeah, by the time we had opened, he had already drinking like 4 cups.
Yeah, it was whack.
That coffee's not very strong.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty weak sauce coffee.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
You know what? Claire, you remember Claire?
Claire was
the best manager there.
I don't know who my favorite was.
I loved Claire. I liked Claire, I liked Callie, and I liked...
Callie doesn't work there. Claire moved on to a different store.
Yeah. There was one other dude.
Jordan.
Oh. Me and him just butt heads a lot. It was just... You know what? I could tell he was trying. Like, I could tell that he was just trying to be accommodating and be a good guy most times. You know, it's just... Oh, God. He just had such a punchable face. You know, it's just... I never did it, but I was just really...
Yeah.
He would always get on my ass about something. So menial, you know? And be like, dude, I cannot possibly control that. Yeah. You need to chill.
Yeah.
You know?
That place was... It was crazy, to say the least.
It was trash.
And we had another friend that worked there. His name was Carter.
Yeah.
And I got them both jobs. And you get, like, a bonus of, like, $300 or something like that if you keep them, if, like, the person stays for, like, a certain amount of time, right? I don't know if I'm allowed to, like, talk about that, so I'm not going to. But they have to stay for a certain amount of time. And they were just about to hit that limit, both of you. And they both quit, like, last minute. And I was like... my money gone.
Dude, like I said, like the job sucked, the people were great, and I think the best part about working there was you guys. Yeah. I loved going in on the shifts that you guys were working.
Yeah, and the thing was that it was kind of sad because like before you guys left, like right before that's when we all got like split up. we didn't work at like the same time.
I know. And I think they knew. That we goofed off a lot when we worked together.
We didn't though.
Like, we still got stuff done. Like, we were all out by like 9:30, 10 every
Dude,
Saturday.
I mess around more with other people.
Yeah.
Than you guys.
Yeah.
But there was one time
Saturday shifts were the best though, because after work we would go to Jack in the Box across the street and we would just chill there for an hour. And I'd be like, okay, time to go home and die.
Yeah, for real.
See you at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
That place was crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it taught me a lot though. Like, as much as we're talking about like the bad stuff, like I learned time management.
Yeah.
I learned how to set up a system and execute. I learned how to not get stressed as much in stressful situations and just realize like it is what it is. And
I was able to tap into the zone a lot more. Like, at my other job, I would get very sporadically in this mindset where I got this, and this done in this amount of time. And it was the most productive mood I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And that job demanded that out of me, so I had to constantly be in the mindset.
Yeah.
But unless I was tortilla making, that was trash.
I worked multiple positions. I worked barback, as you mentioned earlier, which was a fun position, but I dropped a whole case of beer one time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Okay, bro. I shouldn't have done a lot of things I did there. I was still. All this was done when I was 17. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So I was barback. I don't think that was allowed, but I was making bank, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was carrying. It was like a Schinnerbach or a Shinerbach. I don't know what you call it, but I was carrying a whole case of it. And hold cases of beer. One hand on the bottom, people. Unless it's like a flat bottom, but this one was one that kind of like folded. But I never had issues before with any beers, like in boxes, and like I was already there. I was walking into the little like bar area. The whole bottom gives out. All the beer falls on the floor. It's like 24 bottles, and like most of them broken and stuff. And I just kind of like, and that was the last beer I had to stock before I left. So I just kind of like stood there and I was like, bruh.
Yeah, it goes to clock out.
For real, I'm out of here. Like,
I'm out of here.
But yeah, I mean, the job, it taught me a lot, and I got a lot of different experience. Barback, dishwashing, tortilla making, piñata making, all that stuff. You know, it was...
Those tortillas were good.
Yeah, and I know how to make some bomb guacamole now.
No, for sure.
So it was definitely worth it, but it had its negatives for sure.
Right.
There's one time I cut like my thumb and I cut like a chunk off, right? And I was cutting limes.
Ooh.
So lime juice. At first I was like, yeah, I didn't really cut myself. And I had gloves on and the blood starts like pooling and like there's lime juice in it too. Bro, the worst. I was like, oh my god.
When you're talking about drains,
yeah.
Callie offered me a free meal and steak with it if I got down and cleaned out a drain because it was clogged, and I'm like, fucking
bro. You know,
at this point I was so.
I did the same thing,
done.
not for a meal.
Yeah,
wow.
That's rough. But I put on a glove and I stuck my hand in the drain and I pulled all this garbage out. It was so gross. Well, there was a broken ceramic bowl in there and I cut my fingers on it. And all this sewage was seeping into my wound, and I'm just like, I'm gonna get cancer or some sort of fungus that hasn't been discovered yet, or something like that. I'm gonna be an incurable case. They're gonna have to amputate my hand. Like this is
it, Chief.
Yeah, I was like, this is bad news. Here we go, boys.
No, I feel you, and the thing was, like, if they sat so long, a layer would like form on top that kind of like held the scent under it, and once you take that up, it unleashed hell. Like,
it was the worst.
Oh, and it'd be like rotted meat and stuff. Bro, I took my hand out because it smelled so bad, and I accidentally got it on my shirt. It smelled like it all day. It was the worst, and I'll never forget that. That was trash.
Oh,
literally.
God. Do you want to close out with my allergy story?
What time? What are we at?
We're at like 20.
Are you serious? Oh my goodness. I wanted to talk about other jobs too.
We can do a part 2 of it.
Yeah.
But so this is the last thing we'll say about Julio's, and it's my fun allergy story. So we're working. It's a Saturday.
Yep.
We're working. It was really hot that day too. But I was outside, and I was picking up, the table and cleaning it. As I do. I'm a busser, and I grabbed this lobster shell, and then I put it on the thing, and I start burning up like hardcore. And so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Maybe it's just really hot because it was really hot that day. So I lift up the tray and I go inside and I set it down and I'm unloading at the dishwasher and I turn to my coworker Bo. Do you remember Bo?
He was beautiful.
He was the sweetest man on earth. Such a cool dude. But I talked to him, I'm like, Bo, do I look like red and swollen to you? Because I felt it around my ears. And he's just like, you know what, man? Now that you mention it, you do. I'm like, fuck. So I went to the bathroom and I looked like a cherry tomato. So I'm like, oh god, I'm having an allergic reaction. So I go over to Jesse and I'm like, hey man, because he was the only manager I could find. I had to like do 3 laps. I was like, hey man, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. He's like, let me call Chase. And so he did, and Chase was in the office, so he sent me to the office.
Oh, jeez.
And Chase was like, Chase thought I was kidding. He for real thought I was joking about this, and then he saw me in the limelight. He's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's bad." And at this point, I'm like starting to suffocate a little bit. So I'm like, he's like, "I can give you Benadryl, but that's it." I'm like, "I think I need to go to the hospital." So I called my mom. I'm like, "Hey mom, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Like these are my symptoms." And she's like, "Are you having trouble breathing?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Go to the hospital right now." And so he's like, "Yeah, go clock out." And I'm like,
clock out?
I ran over, clocked out.
I
hustled to my car, and I didn't realize that you, Carter, and Shane chased after me to see if like you needed to drive me.
Yeah, because he was driving while suffocating.
Yeah, I drove myself to the hospital, and
That's some badass stuff right there.
Yeah, and then I walked in. I parked my car, parked it, locked it, started hustling over to the emergency room. You just see this dude speed walking into the fucking parking lot. I didn't want to make it worse by running.
Doctor, I don't mean to scare you, but there's a cherry tomato.
She's like a cherry tomato with legs is running at the hospital. No, but there was a dude outside. I'm like, "Hi, have an allergic reaction." And I said the same thing to the front desk lady. I'm like, "Hi, my name's Joseph. I'm having an allergic reaction." She's like, "Okay, sign this and sit over there." I'm like, okay. No. It's just like, somebody should be with you. And I was like, okay. Like, I trust you. Because I'm breathing through a straw at this point. Like,
I can't breathe. You have a 15-minute wait.
Just give me something right now. No, but
dude, you should. If you had taken the Benadryl and went, you would have been
probably totally better. Fine. Yeah, I would have been a lot better. But I didn't want to risk it. I don't know what the fuck Benadryl was anyway. Yeah. Because at that point I'd never been allergic to anything.
Yeah, it's just used for allergic reactions.
Yeah. So then it's like, somebody should be with you in like 30 seconds. I'm like, what if I die in 29? And so a guy came out. They took me in, and I'll never forget this. I was on the operating table. I was on the bed. The operating table. I was on the bed, and I look over. One of the nurses, her name was Megan. And I'm like, oh, good, your name is Megan. I have good experiences with people named Megan. Because I had a lot of friends at that point named Megan. She said,
oh, okay, accidentally stabs you. You're like, oh, well.
Yeah, I think she took a lot of pleasure of stabbing me with the IV.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding. And then they gave me the IV and they started pumping all the medicine into me. And I started to relax a little bit. Like, it was this cool wave of just feeling. You ever know when you're really stressed out or something like that, you just get like unbelievably calm for a minute? It's like that wave that kind of hits you.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. It was the best feeling.
Yeah, because it was pumping new fluids through your bloodstream and getting your body to chill.
Yeah, I know. And then my mom, this freaked me out. My mom was like, "It's time to rest now, honey." And I'm like, that's usually synonymous with people dying. I'm just like, okay. Please don't tell me that.
Well, Jesus is my time.
Yeah, yeah. And then they hooked me up to a bag with water mixed in with medicine. Yeah. And then they would slowly. It's like saline.
You were probably dehydrated too.
Yeah, I really was. And they were pumping it methodically into my system and stuff like that. And they're like, you're gonna have to pee in like an hour. I'm like, whatever. I've got the bladder of a camel, And then I wake up from a nap. I fell asleep, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I had to walk to the bathroom like this with tubes on my shoulder because they didn't. I don't know why I had it. I just couldn't take them out. Did you stay the night? No, I left around 8 maybe. I was there for a couple of hours, and then I was back at work the next morning at 7 a.m.
What a G.
Yeah, Ellery? He called my mom because I was 10 minutes late that morning. And I walked in, and my mom told me, like, she called me on the way there. She's like, yeah, your manager just called me, asking, like, where it was. And my mom got peeved. She's like, my son will be there when he gets there because I just almost died the other day. And they
Yesterday.
expected me at work the next morning. Like, who does that? But I walked into the office one time that morning, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm having an allergic reaction. And Eller's like, that's not funny. I'm like, I think it's hilarious.
Well, I almost died, so shut up.
Yeah,
Pissy
exactly.
pants.
That was my reaction. I'm like, oh, I'm the one who almost died, so I think I can do that.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. I will never forget that experience. That was probably my only near death experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
I was about to talk to Jesus. I'd be like, hey man, I'm not ready to go yet. Can you send me back?
God's like, yeah, you don't get a choice. Dead.
Spiritual shotgun. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Good stories all
place,
around.
that place was psychotic.
Yeah.
That
Dude, that place was crazy.
That place had big dick energy.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
it smacked us around, man.
Yeah, it really did.
Worth it. I don't know if I'd say that, but good experiences with people.
Yeah.
And hey, you learned a lot. Now you know you're allergic to shellfish. So
Yeah,
it is
so
what it is.
don't take me to sushi places.
Yeah.
I will die.
Wink. Anyways, we'll wrap
it up. Yo, what's up? My name is Jojo Siwa.
We're gonna wrap it up. Jeez.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the Pocket Podcast, and stay tuned for more in the future. We talked a little bit last time about how we're gonna hopefully transition to more platforms.
Oh, for sure.
So we don't really need to cover that too much here.
We have a lot of like videos
Yeah.
in the works too. Like,
Yeah.
like the podcasts aren't the only things we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I guess this would be a good time to speak on this a little bit too. Or do you want us to do like a separate 10-minute little thing just to
We should do like a video, like not just a podcast, but like of our faces, like this is what we're doing. You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
So never mind, guys. Take that back.
Forget about it, man. We didn't say anything.
But anyways,
I didn't steal $1 million from the bank. What? I didn't commit tax fraud.
just stay tuned because we do have a lot of ideas that should be coming to light very soon.
For sure.
That aren't just podcast based. So that's why the channel's called Rec Films, not just.
It's not short for recording. I realized that with the red dot, like that I was making a play on the word. Like it's misleading though. It's called recreational.
Yeah.
And recreational by definition is doing something for fun.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed again, and have a great day.
For sure.